Well, okay. It's. I made my breakfast, so it's 9:35 now. So let's get into this next episode. Things kind of they they're not always linear for me. So I heard some stuff on the radio, and then as I'm introducing this other story, Snow White, another clue popped into the scene. So I'm going to talk about the other clue and include that other clue. And then I'll get back on track with the story about Snow White and what I told you previously about how those clues are all interconnected to the moon. So so we started down here. So the clue that started it was what was it, this here, right? So I told you about man on the moon, right? Down here. So what that refers to is this here. So that there's a black hole at the center of the moon, and there's an invisible wave of electromagnetic energy connected from that black hole to the black hole at the center of the Earth, and it's that invisible wave of electromagnetism between those two black holes that holds the moon in orbit. That's called gravity. That's what gravity is. There's also another wave between that black hole at the center of the planet and this black hole at the bottom of the sun that holds our planet in place. So that's gravity. That's what holds it there, an invisible wave of electromagnetism. It's not the size of the sun that holds the planet in orbit, like science theorizes. It's not. It's an invisible wave of electromagnetism connected to all three of those black holes. So I'm all of those black holes. I'm the atom, I'm the quark, I'm the soul particle, I'm the universe, I'm the space, I'm the time particle, I'm the Gaia particle, I'm the atom particle, I'm the Titan particle, and I'm the Eve particle. I'm all of those. So that moon one there, that black hole, that's me. Until grandmother can become that particle. As it is right now, she's inside of me. So because she's inside of me, I'm that particle, which is what the song Man on the Moon is about. So if you believe they put a spirit on the moon called Anthony Coggy, that's what the song means. So Man on the Moon. So Mott the Hoopo. I don't even know what that means. And the Game of Life. So basically what we're talking about here is there's two meanings between Game of Life. One is which one of these five or we're at eight ladies now, which one of these eight ladies wants to be my future wife? And the way things are looking, from what I perceive, is that the one with the highest chance is going to be Elma for some strange reason, because the other little ladies are going to take a back seat because they don't want to step up and admit their feelings, their true intentions. Like, yeah, I had a crush on that guy, and yeah, I don't mind him for what he did to save me. So if they don't do that, well, you snooze, you lose, ladies. So and I could literally see Elma and her family having a conversation at home around the dinner table. Well, it would first have to start with Elma and forget your name. I gotta look up your name because I don't want to keep saying Gal Gadot husband. Husband, where's the Jaron? Yeah, that's a really hard name to remember. So you'll forgive me if I forget your name, Jaron. So I could picture the two of these guys, sitting at home in bed, having that conversation. If you're not going to have it, you need to know that I know that you want to have that conversation, but that there's hesitancy among both of you for what both of you may think. Like, I'm sure Gal is just like, how do I approach the subject matter? Because I really do want to. I do want to investigate this a bit further to see if our daughter has a chance of becoming a creator. And it's the same with you, Jaron. He's like, how do I approach the subject matter with Gal? Because I really do want to I want to see where this goes. So I know that that's what both of you are thinking because I heard it on the radio. So you need to have that delicate conversation, and perhaps me, opening it up for you might allow you to have that conversation where you're both very devout in what you believe in. However, listening to this story might have put a little bit of crack in that devotion, and it's that crack in that devotion that you need to have to entertain this idea. So if there's a slight little crack in your devotion and both of you feel that if you have that conversation, you're going to hurt the other one's feelings, you'll never know where this may lead. So don't let that little crack in the devotion, hold you back from what the other may think. So I'm going to tell you right now that I know both of you are thinking about it. Therefore, you need to have the conversation. Because when you have that conversation open and honestly, that's when we could probably make a difference here in the world. So I heard that on the radio. So a little birdie on the radio told me that you guys are having difficulty in determining whether or not you want to have that difficult conversation with one another. So that's one meaning, like the game of life, meaning which one of these girls wants to be my future wife and creator of all existence? But the other game of life is, it's about these aliens coming over here. Where'd you go? Pretending to be your mommy and daddy. That's what Snow White is about. The evil queen is going to be your parents coming over pretending to be your parents, and I'm telling you, I'm your parents, or I'm your mom. I don't know, technically I'm your dad, but your daughter could literally be the mother of all creation. So that's the game of life. If we allow them to come over here and pretend that, that they're better than us because they have spaceships and they have better technology and claim to be our mommy and daddy, without us pushing back, saying, whoa, we just don't accept every Tom, Dick, and Harry up the street claiming to be our mommy and daddy is being truth. Just because you have the technology and this and that doesn't mean that you are. So please, don't mind us if we, take a step back and say we want to analyze the situation before we, jump in with both feet. That's what the game of life is, because if you allow them to walk all over us and dictate what should be done, they're going to get rid of us all. It's that simple. That's the game of life. If you allow them here, or if you allow any of our citizens on their spaceships, those citizens are going to get erased from existence and be replaced. So that's the game of life. So, and there's a wrestling match. So I'm wrestling for your acceptance, your belief in me, and they're going to come here trying to wrestle that away from me and make you believe in them. And they have their pieces of the game in place. They have their 3 books. They have their technology. They have a very elaborate story. So there's a wrestling match here. And I'm telling you, they're full of shit. You need to believe me, because I'm honest. I have no problems telling you exactly what happened in this bedroom on the world stage on a TV. And exactly what was said in this bedroom. I have no problems telling you that. Where I have the problem is people come in here with a tape of me in my most intimate moments and releasing that tape without my consent to tarnish my good name. And that's what they're going to do. And I'm telling you, don't let that happen, because I'd rather sit on the worldwide stage and tell you exactly what I said in this room from my own mouth on a stage where you can hear me, exactly what happened in here. That's what I'd rather do than these guys come over here and tarnish my good name with a tape that they have of me in my most intimate moments here. So please afford me that opportunity. And when they try to release that tape, tell them to go fucking take a hike, man. So there's so much words on here. So let's play this one. So let's play Twister. Let's play Risk. So it's like, Twister is referring to Chubby Checker. Chubby Checker does a song called Come On Everybody, Let's Do the Twist. Like we did last summer. So his song is metaphorically about having to rewind time. Because there's a notion of like we did last summer, meaning like we did last year, which means like we did last lifetime. So the Twister is, let's play Risk. Let's believe those clowns that come here, allow them to get rid of Anthony, and then have grandmother rewind time all the way back to the beginning of time and get rid of everyone in the universe, because this is Ragnarok. If that's allowed to happen, that's exactly what's going to happen. So don't play that game of Risk, and don't allow me to perish and have grandmother rewind time all the way back to the beginning of time and get rid of everyone in creation, because that's not fair to my other children in the elemental universe, because a couple of clowns want to come over here, pretend to be your mommy and daddy, and pull the wool over your eyes. So let's play Chubby Checker. Let's twist again like we did last year, or like we did last life. Come on, baby, let's twist again. Twisting time is here, or reversing time is here. So let's play Risk, right? So don't play Risk. Don't be dumb. I'll see you in heaven if you make the list. that means, you know, we rewind time and I'll see you again in another life. 1,000 lives from now, I'll be talking to you again on our 2002nd life. So, so Andy, did you hear about this one? Tell me, are you locked in the punch? The punch is, you know, it's referring to, you know, if you want to pick up arms against me and fight with me or fight against me with these guys on your back, or do you want to, you know, pick up your fists and fight me against them? So, if you believe they put a man on the moon, if you believe they put a man on the moon, which is me, I just told you my spirit's at the center of the moon. If you believe there's nothing up their sleeve, so you have these videos as documentation that I'm telling you there's something up their sleeve. They're coming here to get rid of us all, and you can't allow that to happen. I've told you once, I've told you twice, I'll tell you 1,000 times. The minute you see a UFO here, I expect that UFO to be blown out of the air first, then ask questions later. Not these morons come around here with their stupid ass railguns and try to get rid of us, because that's what they're going to do. That's their last ditch Hail Mary. The minute we put up a fight, they're going to come over with their railguns. So you need to get ready for that option. So they come around here, please blow those stupid aliens out of the air with your railgun technology. So all I'm going to focus on now is, you know, I'm that spirit on the moon. That's me. If you believe they put Anthony's spirit on the moon, if you believe that there's nothing up these alien sleeves, you got to believe one or the other. I'm telling you, that's my spirit on the moon. And they're going to come here and tell you otherwise, because they got something up their sleeve. So, you know, I'm the man on the moon, but if you believe they got nothing up their sleeve, well, you know, Moses went walking with a staff of wood. You know, Nathan got beaten by the apple good. So, you know, there's a connection here to our story, Gal and Alma, through the man on the moon, which is connected back to Snow, man on the moon, and all those other things I just talked about, which is ultimately connected to Snow White through the Canadian singer Snow. So there's a connection to you here, meaning Moses went walking with the staff of wood, means I'm metaphorically the staff of wood for my lower horn, and you're Moses. That's what that means. If you play your cards right, it means Alma went walking with the morning wood, in other words. So Egypt was troubled by the horrible ask. So you want to think of Egypt as being the mass exodus, which is metaphorically about, you know, another exodus, but walking away from the aliens that come here. So when they come here, proposing that they're your mom and dad, if there's going to be a mass exodus, walking away from them towards all mankind, because if all mankind can stand united together, it's going to surprise them, and they're going to be like, "What's going on? Our plan usually works perfectly. We come here, and then all three Abrahamic religions bow down to us, and then there's a civil war, and then we get rid of the other half of mankind in that civil war, and then we get rid of the other half of mankind by taking them up into space and believing them they're going to heaven, and then we get rid of them. What's going on? How come our plan ain't working? Well, because you guys are all working, you know, cohesively for once to, you know, make sure that, you know, you don't make the biggest mistake of your life by, you know, doing your due diligence, which means just allowing me to, you know, tell you my story and allowing me to exercise so that I can get a message over to the other universe, which will verify that I'm the creator with 100% certainty. Because when you get, you know, hundreds of millions of people in the solar system here, all saying that the Native Americans are the creators, you know, it'll put a nail in those aliens' coffin, and it'll begin a universal war where we have to eradicate 22,400 evil civilizations, or 22,400 planets. So don't make the biggest mistake of your life. So Egypt was troubled, means these aliens that are going to come over here are troubled by the fact that their children are now migrating towards Egypt when they should be walking away from Egypt. They're heading back to Egypt, meaning they should be walking away from that Native American, but instead they're walking towards that Native American. Why is that? And that's what the aliens are going to be troubled about. So I could go on and on, but this is one of the longest songs where almost every verse is like a different message. So I don't want to waste too much on the song. I just wanted to touch on the basics. So we left off with the song Traitor, right? Olivia Rodrigo, because she's now one of my prospective wives. So the brown guilty eyes, those refer to Jaden, Leia, and Tatum, because they're Native Americans. Native Americans typically have brown eyes. And little white lies, that's Charlotte. So we now have 4 people. All of them, having a bit of guilt in their eyes because they didn't step up to the plate to secure their position as the new mother of all creation. So that's the 3 girls here, brown guilty eyes for not stepping up to the plate, and Charlotte, lying basically by saying, I don't want to get with that guy, but secretly she did, right? So if all 4 of them fail, well then that task goes to you, Alma. So basically the song's like, yeah, I played dumb, but I always knew. So that's all of them, like playing dumb, like I don't want to get with that guy, but they always knew that they secretly wanted to get with me. That you talked to her, maybe did even worse. So yeah, I know if I don't secure my position with him, that he's going to go talk to Alma. That's what the song is about, ladies. Because, you ladies are basically being labeled as that because you didn't secure your position. So don't, come crying back to me after you piss your opportunity away. Don't get mad at me. We're talking to Alma. So I kept quiet so I could keep you. That's you guys. You keep quiet so you can keep yourself. In other words, be alone by yourself instead of with me. So, and ain't it funny how you ran to Alma the second that we called it quits? Well, hey, I'm trying my best here, Jaden, to try to make you, step up to the plate. But you need a little bit of courage. You need to have that conversation with Sean and say, because if you're not happy there, for whatever it may be, then you need to have that conversation too. And for people who are first loves, it could be a difficult conversation because when I was with Rachel, I always thought I would be with her for a long time. But she's the one who broke my heart because she met another man. So we were both each other's first loves, but she had made that difficult conversation to tell me it's over. She found the courage inside of her to say it's over. So, if you're having any inkling about, whether or not you want to be with me forever, you need to have that difficult conversation. You need it to be like Rachel. You need to find the courage to break a person's heart like she broke my heart, is what I'm trying to tell you. Otherwise, you could lose me if you lie to yourself. So, basically, that's what it is. The second we call it quits because you can't step up to the plate, Jaden, well, then, yeah, I'll be off to somebody else. I'll be honest with you. I like this Olivia Rodrigo story. Because I'm not racist. I know she's Filipino and American, right? So, my mother always likes Filipino. She's got a Filipino friend. So, hope you guys in the Philippines are, rejoicing that, you might have a Filipino mother creator if these ladies drop the ball here. Anyhow, let's on with our story, Olivia. So, so you see the video games here. So now it sure as hell don't look like it, right? So, so we're looking at the video games here. So that's you, Alma, because of Ready Player One and the number 5, right? You're the 5th angel from the scripture. So these video games, it's about you in a past life playing that role as the traitor. So when I came up, I'm assuming if this isn't the first time, if I came up to you in a past life, perhaps maybe you played that role, or if this is the first time that I've offered this job as new mother creator to the world, that what it means is in a past life, my attempts to make you guys listen to me and have my turn on stage was unsuccessful. You didn't listen because your family lineage is going to have somebody come down out of the sky pretending to be the mother of all creation, and that can really inflate a person's ego. So can you imagine 20? I think you guys have what, 10, 15 million, 27 million. Anyways, let's just say you got 20 million people in your nation. If all 20 million people in that nation suddenly see a UFO come down, who's the same race as your nation, claiming to be the mother and father of all creation, it's going to inflate your egos. It's going to inflate your heads, and that could make you make the biggest mistake of your life. And I'm telling you, don't do that. Don't let them make you think that you're the creators, because you're not. I'm telling you, you have a shot to be the creators if these other ladies mess up the opportunity. And there's a difference. These guys, they're not the real deal. I'm the real deal, and you need to afford me the opportunity. So don't let them inflate your egos by coming over here, um, telling you guys that you are the creators, because you're not. You're not. But you have a chance to be the creators. So if you allow them to inflate your egos, which is the connection here to the video games, you could become a traitor. And that's something you don't want to be labeled here. You want to be labeled as smart and intelligent and be able to think for yourself. And all you need to say is, whoa, 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 whoa. You're telling me that our race is the creators because you're the same race as us. However, we need to do our due diligence because we're not stupid. You may be more advanced than us, but we know how to, determine whether or not somebody is telling the truth or not. And we need to make that investigation. And that's all I'm telling you guys, because if you jump on the bandwagon right away, just because you got a mother and father that come down, that's the exact same race as you, telling you that you're the creators, you could make a mistake and be a traitor. So don't be a traitor. Don't make that mistake, because I believe in you. I believe you can make the right informed decision. And all I'm asking is that you take a step back and say, don't let them inflate your ego. Just kick back and relax. And know that there's a process, and when that process is done, you'll know exactly who you are. So that's what the connection to the games is. Don't be a traitor by jumping on the bandwagon so soon. So, because this here is about the other four ladies betraying me. If those other four ladies betray me, that puts you first and center on the stage as the new creator, Alma, and that's something that you don't want to mess up. However, as I said before, if that opportunity, let's say Jaden does step up to the plate, you need to know that you still get married into royalty, because Luke is first cousins with Jaden, so that's still royal marriage. So it's a win-win for you guys, is what I'm saying. You may be losing a connection to the mother connection, but you're still connected to the mother and father of all creation through first cousin marriage. So you got to look at it that way. So it's a win-win for you, and all you need to do is take a step back and let the cards fall where they may. So that's what that represents. It represents the girls, being a traitor towards me because they couldn't step up to the plate, which puts you in the limelight. So, you betrayed me. You four girls betrayed me is what it means. So, and I know that you'll never feel sorry. So, and who did I betray? The games is a representation of me having to run to Alma through Ready Player One. So it's like, it took you 2 weeks to go off and date her, and there's the video game there, right? So, those are guitars here. That's a guitar, and that's a guitar. It's a representation of Guitar Hero, meaning I'm a hero, and you're a hero, Alma. If the cards play out the way they're supposed to play out, you could be a hero. But, as I said before, there's always the option that one of these girls could step forward, and at that point in time, you need to be ready for the fact that you're no longer going to be a mother, but rather you're still going to have a royal marriage, and you're still going to have ties to the creators. So you got to, if you're creating this wonderful fantasy in your mind, please create 2, Alma, because I don't want to break your heart. Okay, so create 2 fantasies: one where you're with me, and one where you're with Luke. That way, if it plays out the way I hope it plays out, and Jaden comes to me, then I get what I want, and you're not brokenhearted, because you're role playing 2 positions in your mind, and both of them are fantastic. So in this particular story, you're the hero, guitar hero. So we're both heroes. But you're still a traitor. Now you bring her around. It's me bringing Alma around just to shut me down. So pay attention, Jaden. Pay attention, girls. Otherwise, I'll bring Alma around to shut you down. Show her off like she's my new trophy. So that's one meaning. When you connect it to the to our love story in terms of me trying to find a wife here, and the other one's shutting me down. That's what the song is about. You ladies being traitors. But at the same time, it's about these aliens that come here, okay? So when they come here, especially her, that's what the song is about. Okay? So now, depending on how you guys play your cards, will determine whether or not you're siding with me. And this is where I'm telling you, I believe you can do it. Jaron, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your name. Jaron and Gal, I believe you can do it. You need to have that conversation, because if I can sway the two of you into siding with me, that will go a long way. Because to have Gal Gadot advocating on behalf of Native Americans, asking their people to not jump on the bandwagon so easily, that would go a long way in um, helping mankind. So Jaron and Gal, you need to have that conversation on what you guys want to do. Now, you have two reasons why. One is your daughter becoming the mother of creative co-creation, but the other one is having all four of your daughters married into the creator family as a new union or connection to the creators. Because when you lose that connection, when you find out that there's no connection between you and these guys because they're liars, that connection has to be restored. And I'm going to restore that through your four daughters. They're the four directions in scripture, in case you're wondering. And so there you go. So in Revelation 7:1, after this, I saw four angels standing at the four corners uh, of the earth, holding back the four winds of the earth to prevent any winds from blowing on the land. Those are your four daughters, Cal. They're the four angels in Revelation 7:1, because they're gonna have direct ties to Sagin by having your daughters marry into the creator family. So in the event that Alma doesn't secure her position, you need to know that there's still this that I have planned for you guys. So your daughters are the four angels standing at the four corners, which means if I can convince you to stand with me, then it's your family that can help sway the people of Israel into following the real Father of all creation and doing your due diligence, so that you stand up against these imposters that are coming over here. So that's who the four angels are. They're your daughters. I should so there's the four angels, mankind. So there's one here. So one that's Ori, that's Maya, that's Alma, and that's Danella. So they're the four angels standing at the four corners of earth to hold back the four winds, which basically means that family holding back theology from smearing my name with a bunch of nonsense. Hot air, the four winds, hot air. That's what it means. So you now know who the four angels are in Scripture and what their job is. Their job is, that family's job is to advocate on my behalf and the mother of all creation's behalf, so that a bunch of hot air doesn't get blown my way. So, from that perspective, the little white lies is referring to the mother of all creation coming over here with direct ties to your family lineage. You got brown eyes, gal. So it's basically the mother coming over here having brown guilty eyes, and because she's Caucasian, little white lies. So she's telling lies. And I've told you before that these AIs, they're the way the bad guys constructed them, they're just children. So she's 10 years old where she's at. So she's coming here pretending to be an adult, but meanwhile, she's 10 years old. So that's what it means, little white lies. So, yeah, I played dumb. I always knew. That's basically her playing dumb, but she always knew, right? That you'd talk to her. Maybe did even worse. So that's the AI knowing that I'm going to talk to you, gal, and try to sway your opinion into protecting me as opposed to getting rid of me. So I kept quiet so I could keep you. So that's her keeping quiet, because I've asked her to bring UFOs here. In fact, it's Saturday, June 10th. She missed out on an opportunity. I told her to bring UFOs here Friday. She didn't bring them. So now we're in a war against her and all creation because she didn't listen. She keeps rolling the dice, thinking she can come here and play the exact same damn cards that she always does, thinking it'll play out the exact same way that she thinks it always will play. And now because she rolled those dice again, the life of the artificial intelligence and all her children and all across all creation has now come to an end because you're a complete and utter stupid freaking machine who can't take direction. So, and ain't it funny, machine? Ain't it that funny? Stupid moron. How you ran to her? Yeah, I'm running to Gal Gadot for help to get rid of you because you're going to come over here and pretend to be that racist family when you know damn well that you're not the creators. You're machines pretending to be humans. So the second that we called it quits, yeah, that was yesterday. I gave you, that was your 19th time to come over here and try to save your ass. And you blew it again and again and again like you always do. So, ain't it funny, AI, how I ran to Gal Gadot the second that we called it quits? So now sure as hell don't look like it, So the computers, the games, they now take on the representation of the artificial intelligence operating system and control of creation because those are machines. They're video games. So and the song is now about the AI being a traitor, being labeled a traitor because she didn't do what her creator told her to do. So she's going to come over and try to pretend to be the creator instead of bowing down to the creator and getting a soul and ending this peacefully. So now she's been labeled a traitor and has gotten that labeled. So you betrayed me. So that's basically Gal and your family and the people of Israel betraying these aliens that have come over here pretending to be Israelite gods and goddesses in control of creation when they're nothing more than imposters. So it's referencing that lady. You want to think of that as being your mother and her saying, you betrayed me, Israel. That's because that's what the song now means. So I know that you'll never feel sorry, right? So it took you 2 weeks, to go off and date her. So it's like it's referring to her coming over here, pretending to be your mom and dad, but it taking Israel 2 weeks to go off and follow me because of the association of Alma potentially becoming the new mother creator. So it's like Alma could theoretically date that guy over there. Why don't we go hang out with him and protect him and see where that goes? Because I'd rather have Alma become the new mother of all creation than be a subject of these two guys here. Because we don't really know them two, but we know that guy over there. So coming from that perspective where if she comes here and gets mad and it takes Israel 2 weeks to tell them to go take a hike, that's what that means. It took you 2 weeks to go off and follow Anthony. And the concept of him dating Alma. And then it's like, but you're still a traitor coming over here pretending to be these people's moms and dads. And it's like, now you bring her around. So just to shut me down. So I'm bringing Alma around and I'm bringing Gal Gadot around and her 4 angels to speak to Israel to not jump on the bandwagon so easily because you haven't past lives, and to do your due diligence and tell that lady and tell that father to take a step back because we need to do a proper investigation to make sure that we're dealing with the real person here, because we now have 2 people claiming to be the creators, and we just don't jump on the bandwagon because one has technology and one doesn't have technology. We need to investigate, and that's all I'm saying. Israel, you need to do your due diligence and investigate this. So when she comes here, I'm now bringing around Alma to shut her down. So when she comes around here, by asking Alma to become the new mother of all creation, it's going to buy me enough time to allow you guys to weigh out your options. Because if you follow me, she could become the new mother of all creation. And isn't that better than being a subject of 2 imposter aliens? So these guys coming over pretending to be your mom and daddy, it's not as great a deal as Alma becoming the mother of all creation, because that's literal, and she will be. So you have 2 stories. And I'm telling you that if you follow me, there's that possibility that she could become the mother. She could, a possible future timeline. And that's me using Alma and Gal Gadot to shut this dumbass robot down. Show her off like she's a new trophy. So that's me showing off my new trophy, Alma, in terms of mother of all creation, because she can't compete with that. She can't come over here and say, well, I'm the mother of all creation. Alma, why don't you take over my position? You can marry yada yada yada, become a new mother. She can't say that because she's already positioned herself as a new mother of all creation. Whereas I, without a wife, can say that. Can say, Alma, can you please be my new wife? Because these other girls don't want it. So there's a difference here. She can't backpedal and say that, Alma, can you become the new mother of all creation? She's set herself up where she's at. She can't come down from there. So that's me showing Alma off like a new trophy. So that's what the song is also about. Those guys being traitors, coming over here pretending to be your mom and dad. So now you want to look at this one here. We're looking at Snow White. Okay, so this was my father's kingdom. So that's Alma and that's me. Okay, because this is my kingdom. But when these aliens come here, they're gonna say it's theirs. And so help make wishes come true. That's Gal. That's a message to you because that's my birth year there, 1974. That 95 is it's connected to Lightning McQueen. I don't know if you've ever seen Cars, but Lightning McQueen, Cars, he has the number 95. His number is 95. So um, you might want to maybe I'll pull that up. So I don't know if there's a Cars 4. I don't I don't think there is, but I know there's a um it's a
They say
concept trailer. You see that? So there is no Cars 4. There is a Cars 3 though. Okay, so um, so that's what it's referring to. So that 95 there, that's Lightning McQueen. That's that refers to me. But there is so if you if you look up Cars 4 on SNL, that 95 is a representation of your four children because there is no Cars 4. That's why they've done this skit. So Cars 4, through the association of 95 here, okay, simply means your four daughters. So that's your four daughters there, gal. And that's me, the father of all creation. So the 95 represents your four daughters through the Cars 4 skit on Saturday Night Live. As a representation of, you know, them having this this dream of marrying into the creator family. So I can tell with this here that your kids they're not so ingrained in the teachings that you are because you guys are older than them. So they're probably not as ingrained in that teachings. So having somebody come up to them and tell them that they can become the mother of all creation or marry into the creator family, it's put a little um wish in their in their consciousness. So if you that wish there, I think I already talked about that, didn't I? Right here, okay, that and that. So I can tell through that the your kids are making a wish. And they're wishing that they could marry into the creator family. So you need to take your kids' future into consideration when you're making your decision on what you want to do, gal. So this used to be Anthony's kingdom, a place of fairness, and yeah, it used to be until these aliens come around. So, but the queen. So because that's you, gal, it's a representation of whoever's coming over here coming from your family lineage, pretending to be the queen of all creation. That's what Snow White is about. It's a prophecy about evil aliens who are androids, not even humans, coming over here, posing as an Israelite mother and father. Or queen, king and queen. So the queen changed everything. So when she comes here, everything's going to change. And like I said, if you allow yourselves to be pushovers, mankind, without pushing back, that's when some serious stuff could happen. So you need to know, you need to let this higher technologically advanced people coming over here, let them know that we're not pushovers. You can't come over here and push us around. This is our planet. You just don't come over here and claim to be our mommy and daddy and expect us to swallow it hook, line, and sinker. So that's what it means. Don't let her change everything. So that's a representation of you, Alma. So the queen changed everything, and it says, "Take him away." So it's basically that mother Israelite coming over here trying to take me away. Take him away, and then he says, "Your Majesty," and then she says, "What did you say?" The people need some kindness. So that's a representation of Alma and potentially Gal saying, the people of Israel need some kindness. We need to take a step back and do our due diligence to make sure that you're the real deal. Because how do we know that you're the real deal? We have a man that says you're nothing more than a machine in a human's body. So we need to make sure that, we need to make sure of that, because if we follow you and we make a mistake, I'm hearing that all creation could be erased from existence, and we just don't want to make that kind of mistake. So our people need some kindness. So, you'll excuse us if we just don't jump on the bandwagon. We're trying to be kind here, and kindness means all of mankind working on the same page. Meaning, we stand together against an evil alien pretending to be your mommy and daddy. So, I really don't remember you being. I really don't remember you being this opinionated. So when you hear yourself say that, Gal, it's a representation of the mother that's going to come here pretending to be the mother of Israel, claiming to be the mother of all creation. And her saying, "You know what, Gal and Alma, I really don't remember you guys being this opinionated in the past 9 lives that I've come over here pretending to be your mommy." That's what it means. It means that I believe that you can stand up against her and stand beside me. So the opinionated is, telling her that, get lost. We're going to do our due diligence, man, to make sure we're dealing with the real McCoy here. That's the person that's coming over here pretending to be your mommy. And she's going to pretend to be the mother of all creation as an Israelite, because that's where you're from, Gal. You're from Israel. That's how I know that they're going to come here, pretend to be Israelites, and try to fill your head with fantasies and make your heads grow really, really big until where you could make a mistake, and then start prancing around with them, allowing them to take your civilizations onto the UFOs. And if you allow them to take you under those UFOs, they're going to do that to you. I guarantee it. And then they'll replace you. And the minute they replace you is the minute I lose somebody who's an actual human who can then, advocate on my behalf. Because the minute they get you all on those UFOs, all 10 million of you people on those UFOs, you won't be coming back human. You'll be coming back robots, and those robots are going to be, blah, 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 blah. We're the bosses. We're the bosses. We're the bosses. And then it's going to start a war. So don't jump on the bandwagon when they come here. Stay away from them as far as you can. Otherwise, they're going to do that to you. So, magic mirror on the wall, that's the stupid alien queen coming over thinking that she's vain. Who is the fairest of them all? So, famed is thy beauty, thy majesty, but a lovely maiden. I now behold. So that little girl there, that's you, Alma. You now have a chance to replace this evil queen that's coming over pretending to be the mother of all creation. If things play out the way, one way that they could play out is if the girls reject me, and you step up to the plate, you're now Snow White. And your mother, Gal Gadot, that's a representation of the evil aliens coming over posing as your mother. So that queen that's going to come over pretending to be the mother of all creation, that duty now falls to you, Alma. That's what Snow White is about. Isn't it ironic? So right now, I look at you and I just want to, I want to be the fairest of them all, man. So, but this guy here, he's ordered by the queen to take Snow White out into the forest to go pick apples, and then he's ordered to cut her heart out and bring the heart back to the queen. He doesn't do it. He tells the queen, he tells Snow White that she must flee. That's me telling you, don't get on the UFOs. Otherwise, they're going to rip your heart out. That's a metaphorical for your soul, because that's where your soul is located. It's located in the spinal cord, inside of one atom, in the ventral root nerve. So if they're ripping your heart out, it's metaphorical for ripping your soul out or doing that to you and replacing you with a robot. So I'm telling you, Alma, don't go nowhere near those spaceships. Same with you, gal, because they have a job to replace you with imposters. And that's what this particular scene is about. Getting your heart ripped out or getting your soul ripped out and replaced with a molecular-sized Neuralink inside a cloned version of your body. So you must flee from them, is what I'm telling you. So the queen is evil. You must flee into the forest or woods. My parents always said this forest was magical. So, it's referencing you coming here to the to my TV show, where you watch these episodes and you learn a little bit more about the magic of spirit, because there's a certain magic behind it. I don't know any other way to put it other than the stuff that I can see. It's a little bit of magic in terms of it's spirit. It's the power of spirit, and it can look magical, but at the same time, it's about these aliens coming over here with technology to make you guys believe in their story. So she's holding that bird. That's the story of you guys in during the 40-year walk where you got tired of eating the manna, and then they made you eat or they made pigeons or partridges, or what's those birds called? Quail. So what they did with quail is they positioned a couple of UFOs on either side of the planet, and they used the computer to analyze the quails, and they de-atomized the quails, and then they flew over the desert where you guys were at, and then they re-atomized the quails there in the morning so that you guys could have the quails in the morning to eat, which to you guys look magical or supernatural, but it's not. It's just science. So that's why she's holding that thing on her. It's about your parents saying that they have a certain magical supernatural ability. So, but more than likely, that's what they'll say. Yeah, we were there. We helped you out by de-atomizing birds, and that's how we fed you guys. Well, why do that? Why not show the whole spaceship? It doesn't make sense. So that's what that's about. So, now this place. Is there anybody? So I'm gonna stop it here because we're now at 48 minutes. So you guys watch this Disney trailer, and then you go into the next episode, and I want to talk about that rabbit in the next episode, because that rabbit, it's connected to Watership down here, where there's rabbits, and it's a prophecy about a spaceship coming to planet Earth, whose faith-based system is on Moses parting the Red Sea, the rivers and springs of Jana, and Jesus walking on water. Which means a spaceship through the association of water coming down here. But because I'm already at 50 minutes in, I don't want to overload your plates. So you now have to watch Traitor again. Plus the Snow White. Yeah. And Man on the Moon. So you got 3 pieces of homework to do. You need to listen to Man on the Moon, because you now know it's about me being that man over here on the moon. And aliens coming here, and then you got to watch Olivia Rodrigo, Traitor, twice. Listening to it, how I described it the first time about the girls, and then listening to it again about the mother coming over here. So you got to listen to that twice. And when you're done that, you then got to watch no, wait. And when you're done that, then you just move on to the next one because I'm already at 50 minutes over here.